Hello knife lovers, welcome back to Knife Delights. Today's video is a video response to Shelter Monkey's video, The Truth About Buck Knives. In his video, which I have a link below, Shelter Monkey expresses concerns about the quality of the factory edge on his Buck 120 fixed blade knife, and if this indicates a decline in Buck's quality concerning the sharpening of their knives. The first concern he addressed is whether or not a wider bevel is better than a thinner bevel. I can't answer that, and I'm not going to attempt to address that in this video. But his second concern was that the bevel did not appear to be even along the edge of the knife. It is this concern that I'd like to address today. Just so you know, I'm an avid collector of Buck knives. However, I'm not here to defend Buck or to be their apologist. If there's a problem with Buck's quality, it needs to be addressed. So I thought it would be interesting to look at the edges of several of my Buck knives and try to answer his question if the quality is declined or if the edges are somewhat consistent throughout the years. Let's start out here with one of my more recent purchases. Oh, I want to add, these are all factory edges. I have not used these knives. I have not touched them up. I have not stropped them. These are factory edges as I received them. So let's start out with a recent one here, the Buck 117, which was manufactured in 2020. And so what we are looking at here is the sharpened edge. If I can get this to focus better. And you see that secondary bevel there. Is it consistent all the way across the blade? It's having a hard time focusing here. But as I look at it, it looks pretty consistent. Let me move that back out of the way. Maybe that'll help us out a little bit. So that is from 2020. That looks pretty consistent to me. It may be a little thinner up here at the tip than down here. Oh, that helped. That helps it focus there. So I'll let you judge. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect, but it's pretty consistent. So now let's move to a Buck 119, and this is from 2017. If you look close, it looks like up in this area here, might be a little thinner up in there. Not as wide, I should say. But still, overall, it's pretty consistent. I've watched a lot of videos on Buck knives, and it seems that a lot of reviewers all start off by talking about how sharp Buck knives are right out of the box. Some of them do touch them up and strop them and this and put a little finer edge on them. But they all seem to be impressed with the factory edges on them. So this is a Buck 102. And this is from, let me see here. This is from 1998. So that's a 19-year difference between this and that Buck 119 I just showed you. Again, looks fairly consistent. Again, if you look close, you can barely see maybe a minor little spot where it's not quite as wide, a little inconsistency. And then here's one from the year 2015. This is a Buck 877 Maverick. And with the stonewash finish, it's a lot easier to see the edge there on it. And you can see along the belly here, it does appear to be just a little bit less wide than down here by the tip, but nothing glaring. So it looks like a pretty consistent edge. So let's look at a couple pocket knives. I have one here. This is the... Oh, I'm sorry. We have the Buck 303 Cadet. The first knife is from 2018, and the second knife would be from 1991. Looks like a pretty consistent grind there. If you look right in here, looks like they got up into it just a little bit. Looks a little thinner out here by the tip. But still, all in all, not too bad. And this is the older knife. It also seems to be a little thinner up here near the tip. So we'll do a side-by-side comparison here quick. See if you can tell the difference. There's a good shot there. Now there's a 27-year difference between those two knives. So can you tell a difference between the two? I really can't. I know from watching Buck Factory videos, it looks like these are all hand sharpened using what I want to say, a sanding strip, and that's not the right term. Sorry, not thinking of the right term here. But anyway, so they're ground by hand. So I can imagine there's going to be some minor inconsistencies as someone stands there all day long just sharpening the knives. They're not all going to be perfect. There might be something a little deeper, a little wider here and there. But overall, just to answer your question there, Spider Monkey, I don't see an increase or a decrease or anything in the quality of their sharpening there. It looks like it remains pretty consistent throughout the years. These are just a few samples. I guess we'd have to sample a whole lot of knives just to see what percentage of them might come out with a less than perfect blade like yours was. So I hope that answers your question, gives you some food for thought. And if you like what you're seeing here on Knife Delights, I'd like to ask you to please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment. To make sure you're notified of new videos, it is important for you to hit the notification bell. Thanks again for watching.